Good evening, StreamYard and YouTube fans, and this is Philip Reynolds. And really, this is kind of pre-show because I'm actually a half hour early. So what I figured I'd do is I'd go ahead and try to get at least a half hour of some fast drive football action. I've got the 68 Bengals versus 68 Kansas City Chiefs. If you're looking at the cards that are on the screen, the team on the left is the Bengals. I have to switch and scroll down, uh, and your team on the right there is the Kansas City Chiefs. So I have to flip between two of the teams. One's on the left-hand side, one's on the right-hand side. So I have to flip, have to go up and scroll up and down, but that's okay. And say hello to my fans. And I'm not sure who's on, but I see that there are two people on. So I will acknowledge them and say, hey guys, good to see you. I've got if you'd like to become part of my show tonight, I've got the link in the description on in the chat room comments there. I've also sent out a couple to some people that I know and mean a lot, and I hope they show. But if they don't show, that's fine. That's kind of is what it is. But let me take a look at. I'm going to read over the comments here. I mean, not read over the comments. I'm going to read the card for the Bengals and for the Kansas City Chiefs so that you know what's on here. All right. Kansas City is semi-dull, reliable, semi-secure, semi-disciplined, semi-inefficient, meek, passive, and semi-disciplined. Kansas City is reliable, staunch, semi-punishing, aggressive, and disciplined. Kansas City's quarterback is Len Dawson and Jackie Lee. And Cincinnati's quarterback is John Stofa, Sam Weich, and Dewey Warren. And I have to be honest, out of all those names I just read, I only know Sam Weich because he was the coach, in his famous "You're not in Cleveland anymore" speech. You're not in Cleveland. Yeah. But we're going to roll here for we're going to roll to see who gets the ball. All right. The Bengals will get the ball, and being as this is considered a playoff game, they will defer to the second half. So Kansas City will be getting the ball first. Let us roll for weather conditions. And that's 65. There are no weather conditions. So let us go to, I'll go to the charts and we will kick off here. .62, and that will be average field position for Kansas City. Two ticks off the clock. And 224 for Kansas City. Aggressive defense. And Cincinnati is not aggressive. They're not aggressive. Disciplined defense. Semi-disciplined, the decider die says no. This will be a punt for Kansas City. $14 on the punt. Let's see. Have to roll here. That is not a 6. So that will be average field position for Cincinnati. Another 2 ticks off the clock. 4 ticks gone. 2-2-4. The exact same roll, believe it or not. Let's check on Kansas City on this. They are aggressive. So this will be an interception. And that is a 6 on the interception. That will be a touchdown. Wait a minute. Roll yep, this is a touchdown. Okay. We will roll for the extra point. 44 for the extra point. And that will be good. And that will be Stenerud. And that puts Kansas City up 7-0. Okay. Kickoff. 44 on the kickoff. That will be average field position for Cincinnati. Three ticks off the clock. That gets us to the half of the first quarter. 1-5-6 for Cincinnati. Poor field position, no. Great field position, no. This is a fumble because in the where it says punt, it has a little star and says it's prior to 2001. This is a fumble. So Cincinnati will fumble the ball here. That is a 5 on the fumble. This will be great field position for Kansas City. Two ticks are off the clock. 9 ticks gone by. We got 3 left. 3, 4, 6 for Kansas City. Great field position. Yes, this is a TD pass. Okay. $35, that will be Dawson. Receiver is Richardson. And the extra point will be by Stenerud. And that puts Kansas City up 14-0. Kickoff, 16 on the kickoff. This will be poor field position for Cincinnati. One tick off the clock, 2 ticks left. Okay, 166 for Cincinnati. Dull offense. Semi-dull, and in this instance, yes, they are dull. So this will be a punt for Cincinnati. .41 on the punt. That will be average field position for Kansas City. Okay. This will take us to the end of the first quarter. 2-2-5 for Kansas City. Dull offense. Let me check on Kansas City. They're not dull. Staunch defense. Cincinnati is not staunch. This will be a TD. Let's see. Depends on. Looks like. Okay. That's going to be. That's a TD run. Okay. 51. And that will be Otis Taylor. Okay. If it's an 11 or 66, the extra point is not made. And that will be good. That's Stenerud. And Kansas City is up 21-0. And we just got to the end of the first quarter. It has been a rough first quarter for the Bengals. They threw an interception on their first attempt of the game. Kansas City went directly down and scored, and Stenerud got the extra point, 7-0. On Cincinnati's next possession, they coughed up the ball, trying to advance it, and it was the next play was a touchdown pass by Kansas City with great field position. Dawson was the quarterback, Richardson was the receiver, and Stenerud got the extra point. And just now at the end of the first quarter, Kansas City got a TD run, and Taylor was the running back, and Stenerud was got the extra point. It's 21-0, and we are going to the second quarter. All right. 4 ticks will come off the clock. We're going to see if we can get a 5th tick. The answer is no. So 4 ticks gone in the fourth quarter. we're going to give Cincinnati average field position 246 for Cincinnati. Dull offense. I don't think Cincinnati is dull. Yes, they are dull in this instance. The dice are not favorable to them today. This is a punt. .46 on the punt. That will be average field position for Kansas City. Three ticks go by, so that gets us to halfway through the second quarter, and we got 5-5-5 for Kansas City. Poor field position, that is no. It is unusual result B. We will go to B, so we will roll for unusual result. 34. This will be a backed up punt. .31 on the backed up punt. That will be average field position for Cincinnati. Yep. That will be 3 ticks off the clock. That's 10. So 2 ticks, and this is also 5-5-5. And they are in average field position. This will be unusual result B again. 22 on the unusual result. This is poor field position. This will be the punt blocked. Poor field position for Kansas City. Okay, if we get more than 2, we're at half. And that is 3. We will be at half here. And that one was quick. About 18 minutes gone by, and 21-0 Kansas City. All the scoring was in the first quarter. Cincinnati starts off with the ball in the third quarter, so we'll go back down to the field and see how things hold up. All right. Three ticks off the clock. Average field position 4-5-5 for Cincinnati. Dull offense, not this time. This will be is it going to be a run or? Yes, they are a run offense, so this will be a run. It's going to be a run. Okay. The 55, and that will be Bobby Hunt for the score. .46. Livingston will get the extra point. And that puts Cincinnati still behind by two touchdowns. That's 21-7 in favor of Kansas City. .35 on the kickoff. The average field position for KC. Two ticks off the clock, so 5 ticks gone by. 2, 3, 4 for Kansas City. Dull offense. Kansas City is not dull. Staunch defense. Cincinnati is not staunch. This will be a touchdown. Let's see. Are they run or pass oriented? They are neither, so this will be a touchdown pass. .62, that will be Jackie Lee with the throw. And Frank Pitts with the score. Does Stenerud make the extra point? Yes. And that puts KC up 28-7. Okay. 51 on the kickoff. That would be average field position for Cincinnati. Three ticks come off the clock. That's 8 ticks gone by halfway through the third quarter. 2, 4, 5 for Cincinnati. Dynamic offense. They are not dynamic. Soft defense. Kansas City is not soft. Porous offense. Cincinnati is not porous. So this will be a corner punt. .15 on the corner punt. That will be poor field position for Kansas City. Four ticks go by. Can we get a fifth? We cannot. So this will be the end of the third quarter here. Okay. 5-6-6 for Kansas City. Shaky offense. They are not shaky. Staunch defense. Cincinnati, I don't think is staunch. No, they're not. This will be a touchdown pass for Kansas City. 16. That will be Dawson for the pass. $23. That will be Pitts for the reception. And 64 is Stenerud for the extra point. And that puts them up 28-7, and we go to the fourth quarter. Okay. 13 on the kickoff. That will be a fumble. Haven't even rolled any dice for the fourth quarter yet, and then fumble. 5 on the fumble. That will be poor field position for Kansas City. Two ticks off the clock. 4-4-6 for Kansas City. Poor field position, yes. This will be a field goal attempt. Okay. 41 on the field goal attempt. That will be good. Stenerud makes it. That puts them up 31-7. Cincinnati gets the ball. 13. And that will be another fumble by Cincinnati. Six on the fumble. That will be an average return. We've got 4 ticks gone by. 2-2-4 for Kansas City. Aggressive defense. Cincinnati is not aggressive. Disciplined defense. Semi-disciplined, no. They're not disciplined at this point. This will be a punt by Kansas City. $62 on the punt. That will be great field position for Cincinnati. Three ticks gone by. That's halfway through the fourth quarter. 2-4-5 for Cincinnati. Dynamic offense or soft defense will re-roll. They are not dynamic. And Kansas City is not soft. So there will be no re-roll. Porous offense. No, they are not porous. This will be a corner punt by Cincinnati. $51 on the corner punt. That would be average field position for Kansas City. Three ticks. There will be 2 ticks left. 5-5-6 for Kansas City. Poor field position. No, this would be a touchdown pass by Kansas City. $41. That will be by Dawson, the pass. The reception will be by Garrett. And Stenerud will make the extra point. That will make it 38-7 in favor of Kansas City. 2 ticks are left on the clock. Wait a minute. Let's do this right. 41 will be average field position for Cincinnati. Oh, and that is 166. That will be end of game for Cincinnati. And that, my friends, was a very, very awful game. This game was ugly, and ugly to say the least, because it was 21-0 after the first quarter. It was 21-0 at half, and let's see, at the end of in the third quarter, Cincinnati got a touchdown run. Hunt was the quarterback. Livingston was the receiver. Hunt was sorry. Cincinnati in the fourth quarter? Yeah, fourth quarter, they finally got on the board. Hunt got a touchdown run. Livingston got the extra point. That put them behind 21-7. Lee threw a pass to Pitts. Stenerud got the extra point, 28-7. Since made a mistake here. It's 35. At the end of the third quarter, it was 35-7. Dawson got a threw to Pitts, and Stenerud got the extra point. So it was 35-7 at the end of the third quarter. At the beginning of the fourth quarter, Stenerud got a field goal, and that made it 38-37. And with 2 ticks left, Dawson threw a TD pass to Garrett. That made it 45-7. The Bengals, this was not a good day for the Bengals. They lost 45-7. And not very good at all. I have to go in here and edit my All right. So now, after that, I can talk about what I wanted to talk about, and that is the idea of rigged, and that is, my friends, after Cincinnati's game on Sunday, uh, just got me thinking about and pondering about umps and refs, not just in football and baseball, but just in all sports. It just seems that I realize that Major League Baseball and NFL football and Major League Soccer and NHL hockey, they all have referees and umpires in that, and I know that they have a governing body over those referees and umpires. But it makes you wonder, what happened with Cincinnati. Makes you wonder, you know, first of all, I know that Zach Taylor wanted to like throw a red flag challenge on that. It's like, feel like he got shafted or something. But I think the ref went over and told him, "You can't. That's not a challengeable call." And that begs the question: why not? If you think you're getting shafted by the referees and the umpires, why shouldn't it be a challenge to go back and see if the refs didn't um, didn't make a wrong call? The other thing is, there's got to be honor, there's got to be integrity, there's got to be culpability in that, and because my girlfriend showed me about 2 days ago that that ref, Tolbert, I think is his name, you know, um, he said he didn't find out until after he got home that his son, bet on the game, and I don't know about you, but I'm of the opinion that if you're a ref, you shouldn't be betting, and neither should anybody in your family be betting. Uh, you shouldn't even be playing fantasy football. And if the NFL said it's okay, especially if it's for money, but if it's for free, like on ESPN or uh, CBS Sportsline type thing, and there's no money involved, that's not bad. But then you've got to make sure that you don't. I mean, some sort of agency, governing body has to make sure that that referee doesn't ref any games with any of the teams that he has fantasy football players with. And if you're like in my league, that you have 18 positions, so that could be 18 different teams. You know, you got 9 positions, but you got your starters and your backups, but that could be 18 different teams. So he could possibly wind up not playing, not refing or umping 18 different things. And I think if you're not, if you like, I live in Kentucky, so I wouldn't be able to. And if I were a NFL ref, I couldn't uh, ref any Bengals games or any Browns games because I live near Cincinnati, and I live technically, because it's still Ohio type thing. I couldn't do any Browns games, you know, and I just think that refs and umps need to be held to a higher standard, um, and needs to be a governing body that oversees this. I know that there is, but they've got to strive for and kind of demand uh, uh, honesty, integrity, and impartiality in refing the games and that. And the other part that I want to talk about here is the fact that um, and I've mentioned, I think I've mentioned this before, but when it comes to you know health and that's going to be of utmost importance, and that shouldn't be something really that a team doctor decides. That should be something that your primary care doctor should decide, not your team doctor, because if you break an arm or injure yourself, you know, if there's any question, that team doctor said, "Oh, he's good to go," and he might only be 60, 70%. That's not right. I mean, uh, I know that I've had to wear a boot before, and I had to wear it for a month. You know, um, but if you use a team doctor, I might be able to go out. If I were a quarterback, I might be able to go out there and play next week. You know, and that's just not right. You know, honor, integrity. The idea of looking for your player's health. And I'm of the opinion anymore, because it happens so often, that if you have to go through a concussion protocol, I don't care if you're Tom Brady, I don't care if you're Purdy or Mahomes or whatever. If you have to go through concussion protocol, that's minimum 2 games out. Except for like if it's playoffs or Super Bowl, basically if you have to go through concussion protocol, you're out the rest of the game and see you next year. It's just the way it is, because you have to. We have. I mean, the NFL needs to start looking out for the safety of its players, because I can tell you, like Tarkington, Staubach, Joe Montana, they had great careers, but if you look at the end of their careers, they were scrambling, they were running, they were getting tons of head injuries. And it's time that we need to look out for after football type thing. That's I mean, because you only have a short window of time, and after football is just as important as football, you know, and yeah, I mean, there's almost seems to be like they need to have an ethics committee, to make sure that the refs and umps are adhering to the rules, the regulations, and that um, umps and refs shouldn't. If like I live in Kentucky, I can't do Ohio, and I probably wouldn't be able to do any Colts games because the Indianapolis Colts are close by. If I like a team in the NFL, I shouldn't even, I should be asked before I even become a ref or an ump, you know, what teams do you like in the NFL? If I say Dallas, and if I say Tampa, and if I say Cincinnati, well, those are the teams that I can't ref. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's just the way it is, you know. And if I'm in Florida, it's really tough because you've got I couldn't do Dolphins games, I couldn't do Jaguars games, and I couldn't do the Tampa Bay Buccaneer games. And because it's really close, somewhat close by, I couldn't do the Falcon games either. You know, and I realized that there's crews uh, with this and that, and a crew, that's doing, say, the Cincinnati Buffalo game this week. They might be going out west next week, and that. Um, but yeah, I mean, do I think that call was wrong? Yeah. Do I think it would have made a difference in the game? I don't know. I just think that it would have, because there was only like about 16 seconds, they might have had about 6 seconds, um, and that's because I they would have had to go for it on fourth down. They probably would have had Cincinnati probably would have gotten the ball back with 6 seconds, enough for one play. Do I honestly think that they would have scored or gotten into field goal range? No. I think it would have gone to overtime. And would they have won? I, if they played like they did all game long, probably not. Um, but they might have gotten close enough to get at least a field goal, you know. But then Kansas City would have been given a chance, and they would have had to have scored. And if Cincinnati would have held them, then they would have won. But that's one of those we'll never know. But it's time for the refs and the umps to be held accountable. It's time for them to step up their game. To be honest in that they can't gamble. There should be no gambling allowed, really, and that includes. I really think that includes fantasy football, whether it's a pay per league or if it's free. Really, they shouldn't be allowed to do that. In that, because that creates bias, and anything that creates bias and deviates from impartiality shouldn't be allowed. In that. Um, And my take on the Super Bowl, you know, the big thing is Mahomes isn't playing healthy, and the next question is how healthy is Kelsey? You add those two together, and you easily slide towards the Eagles side on this, and it could be a easily 10 points or more. Um, and if they can put pressure and blitz, uh, the Kansas City Chiefs, then this game is going to fly by, and then the only question will become is will Mahomes make it through the entire game because he's been if you noticed in that since Kansas City Cincinnati game, every time he moved or went off the field, he was limping, and it was not. I mean, it was very noticeable in that, and it's quite possible that by the third quarter, Mahomes might not be in there. Probably might be using a backup, um, and but it's just we'll wait. We'll have to see. In that, I think the line's going to be the Eagles by 5.5. I think they'll win by 10 or more, and the over under will be about 48 to 52 points. And I myself, if it, I myself wouldn't even touch it at the 48 to 52, but I think that's what the line's going to be 48 to 52 over under. And but the keys are, how healthy is Mahomes, how healthy is Kelsey, and if they can put pressure on Kansas City and blitz them, I I don't see any way that the Eagles don't win. But it is what it is, and we have to wait and see, and we'll have to let them see how they play the game and take it from there. This has been Philip Reynolds, and this one's a wrap, guys. I sent out some info for some people, but they never showed up, but that's all right. At least I tried in that. But I just wanted to come on here and, view my thoughts on, is it getting to the point where it seems that the games are rigged or possibly rigged, and maybe an ethics committee or ump and ref, you know, uh, something to make committee board to make sure that they're adhering by and living up to the standards that they should be, and that's pretty much impartiality, honesty, impartiality, and they've got to make sure that uh, the other thing is safety, player safety, because if they are not concerned about player safety, they shouldn't be reffing at all. That's all I have for you guys. This one's a wrap. Take care.